Ratio.
Hi everyone. Ratios are used in all time to represent all sort of things in the real world situation. Everything that you eat is a result of ratio and proportion of ingredients used by your mother or others. For a building that we stand is an exact ratio and proportion of cement and sand. So, ratio is an inevitable part in our daily life. So, we must aware of ratio. So, today we are going to discuss about ratio. Anna going to purchase orange and mangoes for her milkshake. 3 apple and 6 mangoes for her milkshake. What is the ratio of apples to mangoes? But what is ratio? Ratio is the way of comparing two or more quantities. Here we are asked to gather ratio or compare the quantity of number of apples to mangoes. Here we have the way in writing the ratio. The first one is the word form, which is A is to B. Here are going to count the first 3 apples. We write 3 is to. And the second item is the mangoes. We have 6 mangoes. That means 3 is to 6. Wonderful. The second way of writing the ratio is the colon form. Here, instead of writing is to, we use the colon symbol. And since we used to read as 3 is to 6. Finally, our last way of writing the ratio is the fraction form. Here, the first quantity serves as the numerator and the second quantity serves as the denominator, which means 3 by 6. We see that for every 3 apple, we have 6 mangoes. Remember, ratio is the comparison of 2 or more quantities. Let's discuss about types of ratios. There are 2 main types of ratio. To understand the type of ratio, look at the pond, which has 2 kinds of fish, the red fish and the blue fish. There are 14 fish in total. 10 red fish and 4 blue fish. Let's do it here. Now find the ratio of red fish to blue fish. The ratio will be 10 by 4. Hence, the ratio is the lowest term is 5 by 2 or 5 is to 2. What is the ratio of blue fish to red fish? That is equal to 14 by 10. That is 2 by 5 or 2 is to 5. Look the ratio carefully. We are comparing a part to a part. Such kind of ratio are called part to part ratio. Then what are the other kind of ratio? Is called part to whole ratio. Let's discuss it. The number of ratio of red fish to the whole fish and the number of ratio is 10 and the total number of fish is 14. Hence, it is 10 by 14. The ratio is the lowest form can be written as 5 by 7. That is 5 is to 7. Similarly, the ratio of blue fish to all fish, that is 14 by 7. That is 2 by 7 and the ratio is 2 is to 7. And here we are comparing a part to whole, that is red to whole and blue to whole. In part to part type, we compare red to blue and blue to red. Here comes the difference between the ratio and the fraction. Is it a ratio or a fraction? Don't get confused. It is a ratio. Ratio and fraction are basically the same thing. In fraction, we use in a particular way, we call it as ratio. Example, how can we use the fraction 1 over 2 and the ratio 1 over 2? Mathematically, both are same thing. Just the division problem, 1 divided by 2. But in the case of fractions, like we use 1 or 2 to show how many sandwich did we eat. But in the case 1/2, we know that it is only a part of sandwich, just a fraction. Now let's see the ratio 1 over 2. With the ratio, we do not treat it as just a single number. Instead of, we pay close attention to top and bottom number because we use them to treat different things. For example, we are going for a picnic. For every 2 people, we are only bringing 1 sandwich. In that case, we see that the ratio that to sandwich is to ratio is 1:2 or sandwich for 2 people. Did you see the difference? The fraction and the ratio? The math part of them is the same, but for the fraction, both the top and the bottom number are referred to the same thing, the sandwich. With the ratio and the top and the bottom number are referred to different thing, sandwich and the people. The fraction shows the part of something, but the ratio shows the relation or comparison between 2 different things. So, 2 people in a picnic, how many of the sandwich did a person get? Half a sandwich. So now you know the fraction and the ratio are basically the same thing, but since they are used differently in maths. Next, we can learn equivalent ratio. Here the kids has 2 seats and it can be represented in the ratio 1:2. Here are 5 kids and 10 seats. This is equally distributed among them and this can be written as ratio 5:10. In both ratio, each kids get 2 seats and each. So 1:2 and 5:10 express the same relationship. Equivalent ratio are the ratio expresses the same relationship between the numbers. Here, let's check doing more in 3 quantities of ratios. Find the ratio of green cubes to yellow cubes and to blue cubes. There are 6 green cubes and 2 yellow cubes and 8 blue cubes. The ratio can be expressed as 6:2:8. All these numbers are the factors of 2. We can simplify the ratio by dividing each part by 2. The ratio will be 3:1:4. So there are about 3 quantities of ratio. Okay, here comes a question about the quantity. Simplify the ratio 42:24:12. Your time starts now. Very good. It is 21:12:6. Simplify it furthermore. 7:4:2. Okay, good. So, let's summarize what we learned today. Ratio is the way of comparing 2 or more quantities. Equivalent ratio and the types of ratio. I hope everyone understand about today's topic. Ratio, types of ratio, equivalent ratio, difference between ratio and fraction. Hope you enjoyed the class.